So it looks like the archery content is finally starting to surpass the fitness stuff. You know, it's true, but I'm actually kind of proud of you. It's a lot easier to make fitness stuff, and I feel like, personally, if I were to put a bunch of false promises or clickbaity stuff on the fitness videos, I could still probably outperform what you're doing. Yeah, that, or, you know, just creating unnecessary beef with other people, calling them out in video, stuff like that. Dude, even I have some scruples. Do you, though? Do you? Oh, shoot, dude, be cool, be cool. It's the feds. The what? Oh, jeez, shoot. Well, good morning, young man. What you doing out here? Oh, you know, nothing, just doing some light adventuring, right, Ranger? Ranger? Gosh dang it. Yeah, all right, some light adventuring. That sounds fun. You got a permit for that? This? Oh, this? I mean, this is just, my walking stick. Son, are you aware what you have right there is a D2 level 6 weapon, authorized for carry only with a permit? Oh, I mean, well, in that case, I mean, it's actually not even mine, just holding it for a friend. I'm gonna need tactical over here. Bring the shield. I think this is all just a big misunderstanding. Yeah, so this is how this is gonna go. I'm gonna need you to put your hands behind your head and turn around, get on your knees. Oh. Look, man, I'm serious. All we're doing is just some light adventuring. You gotta believe me. Oh, well, what have we got in your pouch here? Some growth potion? Are you aware that's a classified level 3 potion? A potion of growth? No, that's not mine. Why would I need that? No. I'm holding it for a friend who needs it. Not me. No, not mine. Ha! You. What was that you just said to me? No, not you. I'd never say something like that to someone like you, sir. All right, so let's go over this again, just so you understand what's going on here. I have you on one unauthorized carry of a D6 weapon. I have you on one unauthorized carry of a level 3 growth potion. Sir, if you could just hear me out. I think we can all find that this is just a really big misunderstanding. And one count of talking back. That's a crime? Oh, well, it is now. You, my friend, are about to go away for a very long time. Where are we on that backup? Oh. Run! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nerd and nerdettes. And that one guy who thought that this was my attempt at being tough. Sorry, I don't usually like to pick out the negative stuff, but that one it just tickled me. So anyways, this video is gonna be about warbows versus riot shields. So for the bows I'm using on this test, I have the 130 at 32 standard warbow, I have the 121 at 30 flatbow, and the 135 at 28 recurve bow. And to break down the difference between riot shields, ballistic shields, and what they're used for, I'm gonna turn it over to Sergeant Alpha Bro. Now, when it comes to modern shields, you have some very important distinctions. You have ballistic shield, which is the really solid ones. You can see they're made out of usually steel or ceramic, reinforced Kevlar. Those are made to take ballistic rounds. Then there are the riot type shields. Those are made out of a polycarbon. And so when I was doing research on how to find the best one, when I was looking, most of the ones you can find online or are available online are about 3 millimeters thick, which is actually quite thin because standard police grade is 3 to 8. What I did was I found a distributor for polycarbon sheets, and I found one that was 6 millimeters, which I thought was a good middle ground there. And I built that out myself, so you can heat it and shape it and reinforce it and put your little hand guards on it, etc., etc. And so I have a pretty respectable shield here, I would say, based on the standards that are provided. So what makes polycarbon great is its fracture resistance, about 200 times stronger than glass, stronger than acrylic, about 50 times stronger than plexiglass, and it's basically going to be resistant to cracks, and it really dissipates impact well. And so the goal is not going to be to see whether or not an arrow will go through it from the warbows, because pretty certain it's going to do that, and to be whether or not it's going to decelerate it enough upon impact to where it won't be a lethal blow. So I'll have the dummy behind it to see if it can punch through that, and whether or not it'll go straight through, or if it's going to slow it down enough to where it's at a point here where you have it up, if it would in fact not go all the way through. It's going to be the parameters of the test right there. Let's see what happens. Set up here, that's about probably a good distance away from what I would think it would be in the body. And I'm gonna go ahead and take some shots up top here and just kind of see if that's gonna go through and into the actual dummy, and whether that will direct it enough to move away from the impact. All right, so now for the arrows we are going to be using, I'm going to use a few different kinds. We have this, which is more of a standard leaf shape arrow. That's gonna be the first one. I have this, which is a much heavier duty bodkin tip. That's the biggest one that I have. And then I have this smaller bodkin tip, which is tapered down there as well. So it's gonna be a couple different ones. We'll take 3 shots with each bow and different arrowhead types, see which one does best, and see if it'll actually do enough to deflect and dissipate that impact, so it's not gonna go through and through. So I'm gonna start here with the leaf type tip. Maybe about 15 yards away for this one, I'd say. I want to be pretty close just because I want to see how it does, and then I want to stretch it back a little bit further as the video goes on. But this is just kind of like point blank, see how it does. Let's go. Okay, next up we are going with a bodkin tip. Now, I will tell you, that was definitely a surprise to me. I'm actually pleasantly surprised with how this thing did, in all earnestness. I mean, it did well. Really excited about this, honestly. One that did the best was the needle tip bodkin, and that was right over here. That one punched in the deepest, but I think a problem I'm running into is these are basically arrows built for like the 150 and the 160, so they're traveling a little bit slower. Still a lot of mass, but this did exceptionally well, honestly. It would have completely protected you. Obviously, you can punch through, and if your arm was down here, it would go into your arm, but if you had it out in front of you, that would probably be enough to dissipate the impact from the warbow. I've been trying to get these out for like 2 minutes, and I think I'm just gonna have to leave them in there for now, but let's talk about the flatbow real quick. So, what now? Sir, I'm gonna need you to drop the bow and put your hands in the air. What did I do? Really? Oh, right. All the murders. Run! Ooh, anywho, sorry for the interruption. Back to it. Now this flatbow is 121 at 30. So what that means is it is a heavier draw than the other one, which is the 130 at 32. And it's a flatbow, so it's more efficient with its release. This thing versus a standard longbow or a warbow releases at a faster rate, even though it's lower poundage. So when I clocked this thing, as I've said before, this flew with a similar arrow at a similar velocity to the 160-pound bow. So this is my substitute. As you guys know, the 155 and the 165 are both old and not performing as well. 165 has a crack. So this is my hold until I get like an actual solid U bow one day, who knows, but let's try this one out. Okay, so when I used this one with the 130, it bounced right off. So I'm gonna try this with a flat bow and see if I can get that to punch through with this leaf type arrowhead. Now for bodkin. Okay, so when it came to the flatbow, they were better, certainly. With just standard warbow, that leaf tip was actually able to punch in quite a bit. The other ones did go deeper here. That was almost all the way through. And so each shot did do better with the bodkins as well. This one went substantially deeper, as did this one over here. And then this one on the side here. I took 4 shots. I wanted to try to get one close up, so I took an extra shot. So I'm gonna try and get these, oh, sweet. Get some of these out a little bit. Then we are going to move on to the horsebow, which should be exciting as well. So in dealing with horsebows like this one thing to certainly know is they are much more efficient than just a standard longbow or even a flatbow, meaning they return to rest faster and they can push a projectile at a faster. Well, well, well. Look who finally got caught. Oh, I wouldn't worry. I got a few tricks up my sleeve. Oh, do you? Yeah? Well, what's that? There we go. Sweet. High five. Come on. Don't leave me hanging. Yeah. All right, let's go. And see, ladies and gentlemen, that is why you have children. They can help you out of a tight spot. So this is the horsebow. And before I got tasered, like I was saying, it's going to fire an arrow much faster at a similar weight. And so this is going to be the one where I feel like if we're going to get through that well, it's going to be this bow here. So let's try it out. And so like last time, we are starting with this one here, the leaf tip arrow. So what have we got? Well, once again, that one did good with the leaf tip. The one that went the farthest was the needle point, and that actually punched through and through and got caught on the heavier part. And that's one of the big things I think is a problem, is as these go and they widen out, they lose much of that punching power. So if it was just like a narrower needle point like this all the way through, I think it would have a better time punching all the way through the shield. But as it expands out, it loses energy as it pushes. So those triangle type bodkins, they push into it and they slow down. So I feel that that's definitely just part of it, where it was made to punch in a certain amount, but you lose that power once you get to this point here, because it comes to a bulbous end and it's basically used most of the inertia moving forward at that point. The horsebow, again, is doing very well. This is not the arrows that are made for it. These are way oversized. That's a 28-inch. These are like 36-inch arrows with the bodkins, so they're extra heavy. They have a lot of extra mass, but it still pushes it downrange exceedingly well. As you can see here, based on the results, it did do the best, but once again, it didn't have enough power to punch all the way through. And this is 6 inches, which is kind of like that standard, a little above what a lot of law enforcement is, 4 to 8, but like 6 is like right in that middle point. And most of the tests I've seen online are just using like the eBay ones or the Amazon ones, just the polycarbonate shields that are like 3 millimeters, which really is not a good test. And so this has done well. I'm actually pretty happy with this. Oh. And as far as props go, I think this actually turned out pretty cool, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it. Do one more thing. I'm gonna see how much I trust this thing. I'm actually put my camera behind it just to get an impact shot of it ramming into that and see how that looks. I think it'll look really cool if it doesn't break my camera. So I'm out here watching a few things back, and one of the things that I'm noticing that I think is definitely a limiting factor is this has a lot of flex in it. A lot of those Riot Shields are usually more rigid because they have a steel frame around it, or if someone's holding it, it's not gonna give as much. But when these ones get hit, it really pushes into it a bunch. So it's kind of pushing into it more. And I really feel like that's diffusing some of that impact also, because I think if it was standing upright or had it up against a solid surface, it may actually have a better ability. But if someone's holding it, I don't know exactly how it'll go. So I think that was a pretty realistic thing, because if someone gets hit, they'll probably move a little bit with it. So maybe that's not too much, but just food for thought, I think. Standard, just flat, like against a solid surface with solid frame, it might penetrate a little bit deeper, but overall, I think they're doing very, very well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the video. As with all my videos, I only hope you had as much fun as I did. It is just an absolute blast out here. We gotta wait to get these out of here. But, you know, I was gonna toss this shield originally, but I think it's definitely earned its spot. I'll probably try out here a few different things later with some, you know, melee weaponry and stuff. But as a whole, it performed admirably against all the bows. It would definitely keep you from getting speared by the inventory I have. If you didn't see already, I'm actually in contact with APA Archery, and they're going to send me a 100-pound Cobra King compound bow. It's basically what they say is the most powerful compound bow on the planet. 365 feet per second, like the arrows 400 to 700 grains. And so I'll definitely save this for those. I feel like with the modern shafts and the tips, you got a real good chance at punching through this and into someone else. But I'll revisit this again with these bows too, because as always, shooting stuff is fun, and this is a lot less hard than steel, so it's not as taxing on the arrow inventory. Get the handcuffs, hurry, hurry! Untie him, untie him, untie him. Get the handcuffs, untie. You get it? There we go. Okay, we're free, let's go.